So the other night, I'm watching the Republican presidential debate from Iowa, and Diane Sawyer asks this question.
I want to move on, if I can, to another question which represents some of the urgent and tough choices presidents have to make, because this one is coming up soon, December 31st, and it is the payroll tax cut. And as we know, the payroll tax cut, which funds the Social Security fund in this country, is part of the argument, part of the debate, part of the consideration about the economy in this country right now.
Now, this is a big deal because, to my knowledge, this is the first time that 6 of the candidates for the Republican nomination have all been together when asked about this payroll tax holiday issue. So I was really interested in hearing how they would handle this.
By some estimates, if this tax cut expires on December 31st, it could add as much as $1,000 to the tax burden of American working families. And I know you are divided down the middle. If I can turn to you, Congresswoman Bachmann, and we know that you are a tax attorney, that you're familiar with these issues.
This is the News Channel 25 Heisman Trophy Special Report, brought to you by Parsons Roofing.
Good evening, I'm Sports Director Lee Small. The unthinkable became reality just minutes ago as Robert Griffin III has been named the 2011 Heisman Trophy winner.
They interrupted the Republican presidential debate to let us know that Robert Griffin III had won the Heisman Trophy. Now, I'm thrilled that RG3 won the Heisman. No one deserved it more this season, and it's certainly a coup for our school, which heretofore had a reputation of being, very prominent, independent religious institution of higher learning. Turns out some really smart people, really successful people, but not so good in the sports world, at least not when it came to football, not recently. Well, that has changed in recent years, and it's, believe me, the campus has just gone crazy. But the thing is, when you cut into something as important as a presidential debate, forget how many presidential debates there have been this year on the Republican side. Just, yes, this is one of many debates, but it's a live debate, and they cut in with something that, in my opinion, could have waited until after the debate. I mean, the local news was on right after this debate, and it's not like they took us they took us live to New York for the Heisman voting. The winner had already been announced, and they broke in to let us know. Perhaps that would have been better than cutting to it while the announcement was being made, because then, if he hadn't won, then it would look pretty stupid at them. But they interrupted this, and I also thought this was kind of interesting. I think this guy works for ESPN or something, but take a look at this.
Let's take a look at the final results now. It was Robert collecting 405 first-place votes, a total of 1,687 points. That's a 280-point margin over Andrew Luck, who is a runner-up for the second consecutive year. That makes it 3 consecutive years that a Stanford Cardinal is the runner-up. Tess?
This was won this year. I'm going to point to the South region. Here's the real key to this Heisman voting this year. The finalists in the South did not carry their own region.
They're treating this like it's a presidential election. I mean, they had the breakdown of the voting with the touchscreen blow-up map of the United States. That's pretty cool. I frankly think that's pretty cool. But as far as this whole interrupting the debate to tell us that RG3 won the Heisman, I think that I don't think that was good journalism on their part. I did not appreciate that, and especially because I missed seeing how the candidates were going to answer that. Really, I felt like it was a really good question about an especially salient issue. But the other weird thing that I noticed about this was, well, check this out.
Plenty more to come here, but for now we send you back to the GOP presidential debate.
This has been the News Channel 25 Heisman Trophy Special Report, brought to you by Parsons Roofing. Tune in and catch the full report at 10.
In the commercial roofing industry, Parsons Roofing is the national leader, using the Duralast Cool Zone roofing system, where white equals green.
They actually showed a commercial before returning us to the debate. And when they finally did go back to the debate, this is how they did it.
Parsons Roofing, since 1948, family-owned for 3 generations.
Of trying to find things that give young people a reason to study science and math and technology, and telling them that someday in their lifetime they could dream of going to the moon, they could dream of going to Mars.
So we just cut to Newt Gingrich talking. I think something like 8 minutes had elapsed between the time they interrupted the debate and the time they went back to the regular airing. You know, what did they say during that 8 minutes? Who knows? I personally would have liked to get an answer to that question, but more importantly, I normally don't use my YouTube channel to upload videos that are just me griping about things, but I really, as happy as I am that RG3 won the Heisman, I really think this was not a good move on the local news, the local ABC affiliate that interrupted the debate to bring us this. I really am sick of important broadcasts being interrupted to bring us non-urgent news. It's very
Here are the stats that won the 2011 Heisman Trophy. These stats really only tell half the story. 3,998 passing yards this year, 36 touchdowns through the air, while only accidentally finding the other team on 6 pass attempts. He's a world-class hurdler as well, rushing for an average of 54 yards per game and 9 more touchdowns. Certainly has been a much better pocket passer than in years past, not just taking off and running when something wasn't immediately open downfield. All in all, Griffin was responsible for 387 yards per game.
We now return you to our regularly scheduled programming. Then they actually return you to the program so seamlessly, as though nothing had happened. But you know, what happened during that gap that it was being interrupted?
This just in, it's raining today. Fortunately, we're all safe and sound in the studio.
So there I am, standing there, covered in blood, with a hooker right next to me, and the police just breathing down my neck. I mean, what was I supposed to do? It's just...
This just in, there's a bird in the studio. Queen!
Really? That's what we're going with? Check out my website. Most importantly, I need y'all to go to my blog, find an article you like, and comment on it, and share it with your friends. There are dozens of articles on my blog. Please find one you like and comment on it. I'm trying to start a dialogue here. Okay, that's all for now. Until next time, don't mess with the right-wing genius.